Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Sam, me.
so the network is really, really bad. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that it's just your area because it's raining here.
I can
So
be on the road. Now, you've got just about 2 minutes, right?
okay,
I
so
just
I'm going to be yes. I'll be really, really, really quick, which is
hey,
unfortunate, but really quick, right?
go for it.
I feel like your
So sorry that the network is not going to be our friend. It's raining right there where she is. And then
are not really listening to you.
Go on, man.
I feel like we're not hearing you. We're not hearing exactly what you're saying, right? We're listening, but we're not hearing. Like one of the callers that said, "Oh, maybe there'll be justice for Mohbad and all of that." With the current situation in our country, there'll be justice for anybody. That's just the truth. Nigeria is in a special kind of mess, right? The other day when I was talking to somebody else about Nigeria, it's like you try to solve the problem. You cut out this part and say, okay, let me try and cut out this part and save this. But you keep cutting and but you can't see the end because it's so bad. The problem is so ingrained. The problem of Nigeria is so ingrained that you're better off cutting off the whole leg because, trying to save it and trying to, patch it up and let's get along to go along and all of that is just not working for us. No. And that's why I feel like sometimes people are not really listening to what you're saying, to the information that you're giving to us on this platform. Like the ones in Nigeria who are waiting for
not listening.
Exactly. They're not listening. They're hearing, but they're not listening. Okay. The ones in Nigeria, how bad do you want it to get? Okay, you said up NEPA, me and you said up NEPA. Your children are saying up NEPA. Who do you want to say up NEPA again before you now say, you know what, enough of this madness? It's almost as if I don't know how much more you want to take before you now say, you know what, I don't even need the people in the diaspora. Right? You people, when NEPA manages to give you light, you watch TV shows, this and that and the other. You see how the other half lives. Why don't you say, why can't I live like these people? Why can't I have the same things that these people have? They don't have two heads, right? They have one head. I know that we have a lot of problems, but it's high time that, back home, don't wait for the diaspora. We're not trying to look for your trouble. We're not trying to, instigate anything. But I'm just wondering, how much more do you want to take before you say, you know what, enough is enough? Enough is enough, and help is not coming. I think we've belabored that point that there's nobody coming to save us. We are the ones that are going to save ourselves. When you think about how bad the country is, how bad the judiciary is, how bad the police is, sometimes I wonder for Peter Obi. You want to be president of this country. I pray for you because
you know what somebody told me, yeah? You know what somebody said, Somebody said that if it was it's Peter Obi that is there right now, and the Naira is over 1,000, a liter of petrol is over 600, and then with all of this, all these ones that people are saying they don't know how to protest, they would have shut down Nigeria by now. If it was Peter Obi, they would have everywhere now.
Shut down Nigeria. I have a lot of time because there are so many things I wanted to say to us, right? But you know what? I just encourage people to keep on listening to the show and try and hear what Mayegu is saying. Okay? And then there's something Anthony said one day, 2 days ago. I tried to call him to have a conversation. I agree with him. I think if you want to, and I'm very much interested in doing it, setting up like I don't know whether it's a group or whatever,
Yeah, they called it a global movement, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm 100% behind that because I've always talked about solution, right? Yes. We've been talking, and I hear you, Mayegu. Yes. Okay, I hear you, and I would love to contribute in any way, shape, or form.
I know, John.
Okay, so if you ever get that rolling, right? Please just know that you have people.
I do. You've been part of almost everything on this platform as well. Generously too, you have. But from our own experience on this platform as well, a lot of people agreed that Mayegun's diary political can continue to be the melting pot. Okay, because the moment we lose this melting pot for something else, we don't know what that's going to be for the overall. What do you call it? The overall journey. But I am also very much willing. I have an idea of what people are saying, But once we begin to have people of like minds, people who actually have reasons, strong reason to sell to the world. We are all talking about David today. We don't want what happened to Mazin and to happen to David before we begin to use hashtag. Do you get that? Yeah. So I ought to happen to other people too. But yeah, we'll have a reason to ensure.
On a final note, because I know you have one person waiting, right? Let me say that we should stop referring to any of these so-called governors or any of these people in politics as leaders. We don't have leaders. They are not anybody's heroes. They are just the only hero that I see here today is David. He's the only one. Maybe there are other people outside of Nnamdi Kanu who is incarcerated unjustly, right? But he's the only person other than that I know of who is willing to put his life on the line, right? To tell the world about the situation in our country, right? So if we're talking about heroes, he's the only hero that we know of right now. And we don't have leaders. Let us stop referring to them as leaders. They are not leaders. They're not leaders of anybody. Those people are criminals, pure and simple. And we should start referring to them as criminals because that is exactly what they are.
Thank you so much. I am so glad that you couldn't resist that. You were even driving, like you just couldn't resist. And I'm glad that you were able to.
I couldn't resist.
So please, drive safe and have a good one, ma'am. Okay. Good night there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Charm, our own other queens in this house, and I kind of always love it when women, because they watch this program, and the statistics shows that substantial number of women and then females, by the way, watches this platform, and they do so religiously. So when we have a chance of bringing them or having them on the screen, sharing their views of this deep